Today we are going to study on basic concepts of genetics of biology. We know that all living beings produce offsprings which resemble their parents. It is also a fact that though the offsprings resemble their parents in a general way, they are not exactly alike. From the above two things emerge that similarities between parents and offsprings is because of heredity and variation. Heredity and variation together contribute to the important branch of genetics. So, genetics is the science of heredity and variation. In other words, it is the study of transmission of characteristics of both similarities, that is heredity, and differences from the parents to offsprings and the laws relating to such transmission. Let us study about father of genetics. Gregor Johann Mendel, who lived from 1822 to 1884, is rightly known as father of genetics because he contributed a lot to knowing about inheritance and also the variation in Pisum sativum, which is commonly known as the garden pea plant. Mendel was born in a peasant family in 1822. He had his early education in a monastery in Brunn, a place in Czechoslovakia. Later, he studied science and mathematics, but he completely lived his life in the monastery till his death in 1884. During his stay in the monastery, he performed several experiments in garden pea and discovering the basic principles governing the inheritance. He grew the plant Pisum sativum and later conducted the experiments generation after generation. He actually grew interest in Pisum sativum because while he was living in the monastery, he found the garden pea plant on the walls of the monastery. He concluded that certain characteristics which were determined as factors, which is now known as genes. Earlier, the genes were called as factors by Mendel, and these genes were carried in the sex cells of the parent plant. His work was published in the Proceedings on Natural History Society of Brunn in 1866. He contributed a lot, and his achievements remain unnoticed for the next 34 years. The significance of his work was recognized later in 1900. 1900 means after the death of Mendel, when three biologists, Hugo de Ries, he was from Holland, Schermak of Austria, and Correns of Germany rediscovered what Mendel did. So, his rediscovery of the entire work of genetics by Mendel was then highlighted by Hugo de Ries, Schermak, and Correns, and then these advances have been made in our knowledge of genetics till date. Mendel selected 7 pairs of contrasting characters in pea plant for his experiments. What Mendel found was the contrasting characters. These were 7 in number in the pea plant. Okay, let us deal them one by one. This is the plant height. We can see in the figure that one of the plant is tall and another one is dwarf. That means the pea plant can either be tall or it can be dwarf. So, this is a contrasting character that is found in the Pisum sativum plant. The flower position. It can be axillary. In the figure you see the axillary position of the flower is sideways. It is not at the tip. If it is at the tip, we call it as terminal. So flower position is also one of the contrasting characters. It can be axillary or it can be terminal. The third contrasting character is the flower color. The flower can either be purple or it can be white. We know that usually a plant contains a flower containing a flower of one color, but here the inflorescence contains some flowers which are purple and some flowers which are white. So this is again a contrasting character. The fourth contrasting character is the pea shape. The pea shape can be either spherical or it can be wrinkled. The pea color, it can be either yellow or it can be green. Then the pod. The pod is the outermost covering of the pea seed. The pod shape can be either inflated or it can be constricted in this manner. And the pod color can either be green or it could be yellow. So these are the 7 contrasting characters due to which Mendel drew his attention towards the pea plant for conducting his experiments. The Mendelian factor which is now known as gene was coined by Johansen in 1909. However, Sutton and Boveri in 1902 provided evidence that gene is a part of chromosome. Let us now study about the important terms that are pertaining to the chapter genetics. First one is diploid. You can press the I button to know more about what is diploid and haploid. Diploid are cells containing 2 sets of chromosomes. Cells with 2 sets of chromosomes. Haploid, these are containing 1 set of chromosomes. Diploid is referred to as 2n and haploid is referred to as n. The third term is a gene. It is a segment of DNA which controls expression of a character. Alleles. It is alternative form of a gene. Which is present in pair. Actually, when we write capital T and capital T, we are referring to a tall pea plant. So both of them are called as alleles. If I refer to as small t and small t, this is a dwarf plant. So both of them which I have written over here are homozygous condition of allele. Homozygous means they are same. This allele and this allele are same. That means capital T and capital T. And here small t and small t. These are alleles. So these are alternative form of a gene. This is a tall and this is a dwarf expression of the alleles. So such a condition is called as homozygous. But if I write the allele to be capital T and small t, then this is a heterozygous condition. Hetero means different. One is capital and the other one is small, a small t and a capital T. So the alleles can occur in this form also where they are different. One is capital and one is small. It will be called as heterozygous tall because the small t is recessive and capital T is dominant. So we always refer to what the capital T, the dominant dominant condition of the alleles will show. The next one is dominant. As I explained you right now, the capital T is dominant, so this will be only expressed, and the recessive one, the recessive allele will not express itself till it is in homozygous condition. If both the alleles are recessive, small t and small t means it is recessive, then only the allele will express itself. But if there is one dominant allele present, the recessive cannot express itself. So the dominant allele is always the one which is expressed in capital, and the recessive alleles are always in small letters. The next one is genotype. Genotype is the genetic makeup of an individual. Genetic means these are the genetic makeups, capital T and small t. The recessive allele is present over here. This we know when we write this condition. So this is the genotype. But what is a phenotype? Phenotype is the physical expression of an individual. That means we cannot call this plant both tall as well as dwarf at the same time. It will be only called as tall because it will be dominant. The capital T is dominant, and therefore it will be seen physically. So this capital T, because it is present over here, the plant is tall, we will say that the plant is phenotypically tall. However, the genetic expression is both having the capital T and the small t. So genotype will be capital T small t, and phenotype is simply tall. Next term is monohybrid cross. Mendel made sure that all the plants are pure, genetically pure, and he took only one trait while he was performing the experiment. For example, when he was studying about the length of the plant or the tallness of the plant, he crossed one parent which was tall, one pea plant which was tall, with another pea plant which was dwarf. And when he crossed them together, he took the gametes, which is just half haploid and again haploid, and the next generation was having heterozygous tall plants. So because only the height of the plant was taken into consideration while making a cross, we will call this cross as monohybrid cross. The height was considered over here. If we take two characteristics like height, and if I take another one like color of the pea, color was of two types, it could be yellow, it could be green. Here height can be, it can be tall, it can be dwarf. Color is, it can be yellow or it can be green. If we take both the characteristics, height and color, it would have become dihybrid cross. So if we are taking both the characteristics, it becomes dihybrid cross. If we take one characteristic, it becomes monohybrid cross. Now let us see why Mendel selected the pea plants. It is because of the following reasons. It can be easily procured. They are easily found. We see pea plants in the vicinity, it can be easily procured. The second one is it has a short life cycle. Since we are studying heredity and variation, in the next generation the life cycle is needed to be short, because if the life cycle is very long, the next generation will have what variations, it would be difficult. And therefore the pea plant having a life cycle of almost 6 months, in an year Mendel was able to receive the next generation for 2 times. It is convenient to handle. Pea plant does not require any special attention. It is so convenient to handle that you simply need to water them, and they can be grown anywhere in any soil. It produces large number of offsprings. It's not just one or two pea pods that it produces, but there are several offsprings that it produces in one harvest. It is self-pollinated. Pollination is the transfer of the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the female. So in this case it is only self pollinated, and therefore we always have a pure line. The pea plants are genetically pure, and so we know that the variations that are brought in the next generation is only internal. It is not actually because of anything which has come from outside, and if we require, we can pollinate it artificially. How can artificial pollination be done? It can be done by emasculation. Emasculation is a technique in which we remove the anther from the flower. So when you remove the anther from the flower, only the female part is left, and then we can allow the desired anther to fertilize with the female, and so we can allow the pollination artificially. And the last advantage what Mendel found was that the hybrids which he obtained were also fertile. Due to these advantages, Mendel selected the pea plants. You can check my description box for the questions based on this topic and assess yourself, because there are several questions on the topic, and answer it on your own. Thank you.